Hello everyone, it's Leela.
And Bo.
And welcome back to our channel.
For Lion! Justice!
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be recapping and reviewing Boys to Planet Episode 3, also known as K Group Episode 2.
So, Boys to Planet Episode 3.5, technically one
Two.
of two.
Yes.
50% of a two-parter, one-parter
Correct.
episode
Correct.
that lasts a total of 3.67 hours and or an entire afternoon.
Correct.
I just made all that up, but that's what it sounds like. It's a lot of numbers.
Yeah. So we have a lot to go over today. Kind of.
Yeah.
For today's episode 3 review. So this episode finished out all the rest of the auditions for the K group. There's an asterisk next to that because like 50% of them weren't shown. But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
And then it showed the signal song, practice, preparation, evaluation, performance, voting.
And then,
Thank God they speed ran that because that can sometimes take like 2 episodes,
yes,
and it's
then,
so annoying.
They show them their little fun part of them moving into the dorms and stuff.
Yeah.
Which we could talk about.
That was part of the practice.
Whatever, but I have it down in order, I think. So.
And then at the very end, we'll talk about my reconfigured top 8 and the reconfigured current actual top 8.
Based on votes.
Based on votes. Okay,
Very good.
let's get into these performances.
Very good, sir.
We start out this episode with one that was anticipated, I think. Kim Junso from Whibe performing Sweet Venom.
Yeah, Whibe is a group,
Yes.
and I don't. Is that Whibe as in like a word, or is that anyway? I don't know. The names are always weird.
It's a made-up word.
Sweet Venom. Do you know who it was from?
I think that's in hyphen.
Okay, because
They love them in hyphen songs.
What I wrote down in my notes was his falsetto was pretty rough. That's it. It was a good performance. I think
It was very, very solid performance. Like, he did a good job.
Yes, no, not knocking him at all. There was very few really bad people in this whole thing. Those people you kind of get rid of early. He was later the leader of the K group in the 2-star level, right?
Yeah, so he got rated as 2 stars. We might kind of skip forward and back when talking about these performances to talk about what happened later with them, because I think it kind of makes sense to talk about him in general right now.
Yeah, because the show skips back and forth.
Is that he got rated 2-star, then went on to, when they were practicing, they practiced an entire group with your star rating. And he kind of took charge as the leader of like the 2-star team in dance.
Older and experienced, maybe more of a seniority thing.
I think he's the leader of Whibe.
Okay, the thing is, this is gonna sound weird. Leadership is like my jam.
I know.
I love
I know.
I don't know why. I think it started with Captain America from the Avengers. I was not a Captain America fan, and then there's something about somebody who's you just don't find good leaders these days. Kids out there, when you start to work after college or whatever, you will realize leadership is good leadership. And there's a lot of issues in K-pop and the K-pop system, like there is with anything, Hollywood and all that. But the leader thing, the agreement that somebody who's typically older but also maybe more experienced or whatever the reason it is, and the leaders, I notice they always take it seriously. Most of them. They're always really good at it. Or they should be. And there's something so admirable about that ability. It's not, you don't even, a lot of times you don't get credit for it. It doesn't count towards anything. They don't give you like a leadership point or whatever. Maybe votes come in for you. But I thought he was a really good leader too. He was caring and blah, blah, blah. That stuff like gets to me. I love that stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the things that made him really stand out to me again in this. Very mature, very even-natured, like was super cool and chill, and like was a really good leader for his team. So I like that.
ZB1,
it was good to see.
During Boys Planet First one, Boys One Planet, was Hanbin the leader a lot of the time? He was.
I honestly don't remember if he was the leader often.
I got into a lot of people that I didn't dislike or anything. That just wasn't my jam. When they showed leadership skills, I just think it's really good. And he was really cool. If this guy doesn't make it further, I'm amazed.
I was thinking of all the debuted idols that are kind of bringing their fan bases in and getting early votes into the top 8, the very, very members and stuff like that. He's the one that, like, if it comes down to it and we have a debuted idol come into this group, I think it should be Junso.
I don't know if I think it should.
That is my
but I
hot
think
take.
it could.
If there's going to only be one, which likely, like, if there's only one, that's probably my preference
Yeah,
to only have
because-
one,
yeah.
to be honest with you. If there's going to be one, I think it should be Junso. That's
Yeah.
just my hot take.
Yeah, I think he's great. I think he's going to be a good
Yeah.
addition if he makes it.
Next up, we have from Nar Entertainment, Jung Hyanjun, doing the song Goom. I don't remember who does this song originally, but
There's
anyway.
a lot of words on the screen that I don't know what they're doing.
Aside from that, he was awesome. An
Okay.
incredible dancer.
This kid comes out and a little more effeminate, kind of, a little bit more, not like, yeah, I'm here to, he was more like, and then he just really loved.
He was fanboying on Kaney.
Kaney, who, by the
He
way,
has he's super fanboy of Kaney.
just side note, and we are happily married, it's okay to say. Kaney in the overalls with when she had
Her hair curly, it looked so
Woo,
beautiful.
she
It was
so
curly.
pretty. Like, there's young boys in the thing, and they're like, I would just be staring at Katie like she's so pretty.
I noticed that when she had curly hair.
And I don't remember Hyomin being so cute. I remember her being more.
When she has
sexy,
short hair, she has a very cuteness to
and
it.
of course,
Anyway,
shouting.
But anyway, back to Hyunjun.
Anyway, I'd be distracted as a.
He came out and he was very smiley and cute, and you were like, what's he going to do? And then he went really serious, and he's like a really good dancer. He flipped the switch. I love that ability. I love that quality. And then he was like, I'm such a big fan of Kaney. Can we dance together? And she came and they danced together. Wonderful moment.
I, too, am a fan of Kaney. So. and to be honest, I'm not familiar with, I guess she came more from the kind of dance competition side.
I honestly have no idea.
Okay.
I need to look it up because I don't really know her background.
She's a good dancer for sure.
But they had a really cute moment.
I'm gonna say kid. And by the way, I don't mean that in a disparaging way. Everybody seems like
we said it in our first episode, but we're older, so they are old enough to be our kids.
Well,
so.
also I'm saying like in a cutesy way. Hey kid, you got talent, that kind of thing. Kind of like an old-fashioned comedian would say. I think he should go really far.
Mm-hmm.
That ability to switch on and off, it shows such professionalism and such ease on stage. He's the type of kid you'd be like, hey, could you cry real quick for this video? And he'd be like, yeah, probably. He is a pro. Even though I was never a pro as a kid, and I had no interest in ever being a pro, I'm just kind of vibing in life. I have such respect for kids who are naturally that good, but also very hard. You can tell he worked hard, but just so charming. The thing with when he dances with the teacher was charming. He showed like a fanboyness, and sometimes you'll have a cutesy and or a kind of more. They did this to what's his name in Boys One Planet, because he was a bit not so macho acting. They would give him girls' songs. It seemed like a lot, and
I don't know.
And sometimes when
there's several that do that because they prefer the girl group
that's
songs.
Fine. And I'm not knocking it. I'm not making any judgment on that. I'm just saying that it seems like they edit it that way a lot. When this kid came out, I thought, oh, he's going to be typecast as this kind of. They used to do songs with the word candy in them, and you're just going to do cutesy stuff.
Yeah.
And then he flipped that switch. I'm like, okay, he can do it all now.
So he both looks like and reminds me of in his demeanor and skill set Kim Yo-han from X1/Whibe.
Yeah, see, I don't know who that is.
He came in here with the Kim Yo-han storyline, who ended up into Whibe, ranked very high. Was he rank 1? Remind me in the comments.
And then he also looks like what's his name from Treasure, we were saying, who was one of the funniest idol videos was when Treasure had half of them had to act like the leader, the rapper guy,
yes,
and half of them had to act like the guy who. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting their names. It's been a while. Who looked like this? That was one of the funniest. That's when
Junkyu, Kim Junkyu.
And I was like, man,
I don't think he really looks like Junkyu. Junkyu has like a rounded cheeks.
Maybe he talked like him.
But the demeanor and then the ability to flip the switch are very Junkyu coded. As a Treasure fan, very Junkyu coded activities.
Jung Hyanjun, I guess. I think he's hopefully going to go far. If not, somebody will scout this kid.
I think he did great.
How you don't happen to know his age?
I do not. Next up, we have members of the group WHIB, Whibe, Ebe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Honestly, this looks like filler text right now.
Performing the song Future Perfect from NCT. I thought they were very solid. They very much looked like a debut group.
They did.
And the standout from the group was the center with the red and black hair, Kim Junmin. And he's one that stood out for me, and I think also in the signal song test and like the practices and stuff, he did well and like was very solid.
he looks a little older, which I'm not in a bad way. He looks a little bit
mature. Don't say
more mature. I'm sorry, well, mature.
They're not old.
No, but I mean, like if you compared him to the kid who's on the model, on the poster, like it's just complete opposites of types, kind of in a way. But I like that. I think it'd be interesting to see them together and people like that together. Yeah, he was the standout in the way that he also knew his role. It was to dance and to rap. And I was telling this to Lila, whenever they sing the little chorus kind of part, it's just a little couple, 3 words. The singer guy sings it and he raps it. And it just was a smart little, he didn't try to sing it. Not that he couldn't do it, but it just fit his role. They really are seeming like a debut.
I need to check out their songs.
Yes. But
it makes me want to check out their songs.
They were all good. The vocal came in, it sounded good. It's hard on such a short song. I think it's like they give them like a minute or something song. It's really hard because they often have only 3 or 4 lines sang in this song. But what they did was great. He's a fantastic dancer though, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool look.
They did a good job. Next up, we have 2 members of DKB, DAKAB, Han Harry-Jun and Jung Hyanjun, who were really fun. They've been fun to watch, just like in the reactions and the background and the talking. Hui Chan is really like funny. Like he was kind of, the one on the left. He like they showed him a lot in like some other different reactions and like talking to people and stuff, and he was like kind of fun. But this audition, the 2 of them doing Back Down, was one of my favorite auditions. Period.
No, it was tight. It was really tight. We'll talk about it.
We can talk about it now since we talked about June. So
kind of garbage. But not garbage, but it just wasn't good.
And then they go like Harry June here. I was like, wow, he's amazing, incredible dancer, such vibes, such groove, love it. And then they go into the Signal song, and I think it's just that style of song of the Signal song is that song is so annoying, you guys.
The Signal songs, that's why every year you hear people say, I kind of like the Signal song this year. They never say, as usual, it's great. They're always like, I can tolerate it.
There has not been a good Signal song since Pick Me, Pick Me, Pick Me Up.
I think the Signal song is designed to show off all the different aspects. It's not really supposed to be a radio friendly.
So like in his re-audition with the Signal song, he like did the dance and like just stopped singing halfway through. And I was like, Harry June, I was rooting for you. I was rooting for you.
What happens there when some of the idols get up there and messed up?
I don't know.
I think it's just, like you said, it's just
some of them. I think they get so distracted by like helping others and being around everyone. They're not like focus on yourself only. You know what I mean? That happened to Yumeki a little bit. So
no, they were great. I think they'll be fine.
But he didn't drop out or anything. He's still not eliminated, thank goodness. But
Did he drop down 2 stars?
I think something like that, but I don't remember. But
they were really good. That was tight. But it just kind of shows you, if just given a little more practice time, a little more, and maybe a song that's their style, how good they can do. So good dancers too.
Yeah, really good. And last on the aired performances list, we have Yumeki doing "Rainism" by Rain.
Oh, Yumeki. You know what? I like Yumeki a lot. You can't deny his ability to dance and to do choreography. Choreography in K-pop is really hard because everything's been done. Little finger waves, a little body wave, a jump, a flip. Remember when a couple years ago they were throwing everybody in the air and then they had to stop that because somebody was going to
Treasure had to stop it.
It was insane. It was like stop the acrobatics for people who weren't raised as an acrobatic. I love Yumeki. Don't get me wrong. If you support him, good for you. I still do. I hope to see him go far. I can't remember the exact quote, but I believe it was in the first episode where he said, dancing and singing together is harder than I thought. And we have to talk about that because that reeks of the area manager giving everybody more work. And they say, and the area manager says, well, I asked for volunteers and 20 people volunteered and said it wasn't that bad. And it's like, of course they're saying that. They're trying to kiss your butt. This guy needs to pull an undercover boss, which is what he's doing right now. Don't do it once. They do one day. No,
undercover boss.
Go do a full month of being an idol, dancing and singing at the same time while trying to look sexy in front of a bunch of screaming girls and whatever, and starving yourself sometimes, trying to keep your weight down, not passing out on stage when you do a 16-hour press. You know, it was that infuriated me to the point that I was like, that's the reason, not necessarily at Yumeki because he was just doing his job that the label asked for, but this idea that really, if you think about it, the most important thing in modern day K-pop literally is only dancing. Everything else can be faked.
Yeah.
Guess what? Now with AI, even dancing.
No, don't say that
it's
kind of thing.
Absolutely true. I guarantee it's going to happen. Now live, you can fake not really the rap, but you can. You can fake the singing. You can't fake dancing. So what I like about what Yumeki's doing is he's shown not an ounce of arrogance. I don't think so that I saw. He's very humble. Younger people are coming up to him and say, "Hey, I saw him be corrected."
In the practice time, they spent a long time focused on him because it was like, well, he got rated in 1 star, so he's going to go teach all the 1 stars, and they were like kind of leaning on him to be the leader of that group and like teach us all how to dance. And then this little kid Show, who I don't know who that is. I don't think they showed his audition. I don't know who is Show. But anyway, he was like...
He was good, for sure.
He was like trying really hard to be helpful. And he was like trying really hard to lead everyone and teach. And Show was like... It was kind of going back and forth between the two of them.
And then between the leader as well.
And then they portrayed Show as like misunderstanding some of the choreography. So he was teaching it wrong. And so they were just like... They spent all this time in the episode like character assassinating this Show kid that none of us know.
I don't know that it was that as much as... Just saying, well, I mean, it was, but I think it was more of like there's too many cooks in the kitchen. This is why this is important.
That was the storyline.
Also, at that point, the leader had to assert his leadership again. He had to grab Show by the nape of the neck and go, that's a myth. The wolves don't do that. But no, they never once that I can remember showed Yumeki going, "Hey, dude, back off. I'm Yumeki."
No, he didn't do that.
He didn't, as far as we saw.
And the one point of that during the 1 star practice and with everything with Yumeki that I thought was really nice. I forget which trainee did it, but pulled them aside and said, "Okay, everybody, we need to leave Yumeki alone
I was gonna say, that was
for a minute and focus on our own thing and let him go practice his vocals." And so he practiced separately from people for a while and like. So that he could focus on the part that he needed to and focus on himself. He did better.
He did much better vocally, and this is my whole point with the whole feel good stuff of the undercover boss thing. That the few clips I've seen, I don't know, I've never really watched them. Is that they learn from their employees, they learn how hard or the hardships of their employees, and then they give them an extra $10,000, and then they take off the fake beard as though the employee wouldn't know it's Steve Jobs. But it's a heartwarming thing. He goes through this process saying, "You know what? I know how to maybe be a different leader or maybe cool it off with this type of work or whatever." And I think that Yumeki, maybe he's a messenger now. He'll go back to choreography if he doesn't make it in the group or whatever and go, "You know what, guys, maybe we do need to cool it on some of these parts." Because Yumeki's dance style is very, you said this perfectly, it's more of a dance battle style, right?
Yes.
Very technical, very explosive.
Yes.
Hand waving and...
Yes.
Which is cool.
Taekwondo, basically.
Yes, which is cool, but to me, popular music K-pop dancing is what you see Lee Leo doing. If you watch some of his, we'll talk about Lee Leo, we should. And then it's much more, it almost looks like you're not trying to dance.
Correct.
It's almost stoner.
Chill vibes.
I'm just here.
And that's what I like.
Oh,
that's my favorite.
It is so popular for a reason right now. What Yumeki does, compared to more contemporary, like stuff from over here in the U.S. and stuff like that, it kind of feels so crazy out of place. But Yumeki's really good. I think he's going to be able to adapt to it and do some really cool stuff. So I was happy to see how he went through this with humbleness. Not that I would expect him to be arrogant or whatever. Like when we went in Boy One Planet, he was completely down with being wronged. And he's going to get slammed for his singing over and over again. And then they show us clips of Caney just making him cry. And
for like in the little brief next week on, we heard she was ripping into him.
Well, she said, "You're literally paid to teach people this. Like you're teaching people to do this. What do you do?" Now, we don't know the context of the clip.
No, we don't.
And I don't think she was being mean. But I do think it's really kind of interesting when a guy with a career, he didn't have to do this, puts himself through potentially really embarrassing and really humbling activities to get better. A side note, the drummer from Rush is a world famous Neil Peart. I'm just saying, this made a big deal when years ago he decided to go learn jazz from a jazz teacher. He went and found a teacher. There's one of the most famous drummers in the world. And everybody's like, "That's really cool." And it's like, no, he just wants to get better. It's not really that more complicated. What Yumeki is doing is not, I don't think he's trying to prove a point or anything. He's trying to become a better artist. So that's a really
and
interesting...
to try something new and different, which I respect.
And also maybe get some money and a contract out of it. But still, no, I think he did great.
So there were an absolute load of cut performances that we didn't see or what at all, or maybe just tiny little glimpses of. So I put some on the screen that were the ones that I think you should go check out, that just either include somebody that I liked or whatever. Giving short shout outs to So-Won's performance of Feel the Pop. He did well. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember everyone's star ranking off of this because it was not on the episode.
He's
and
another
was
one who
not.
can flip the switch.
Yeah.
Like he can just become a different
So-Won
character.
always has a So-Won vibe, like a cute smile. So it's like he kind of,
I think he's more pretty than cute. He looks like a model.
A pretty smile, yeah.
Was
Yoon Min down here at the bottom.
A song featuring Jenny. Right here, right?
Doing this, Spot. The song Spot, Yoon Min here at the bottom. This one is one I remember specifically when I was looking it up because I think he did get All Stars, but they just didn't show his performance at all. If you go watch it, it was really good.
He
was really good.
I remember now watching it before. Watching it then, when we watched it before recording, kind of crammed before the test, that was possibly the best.
One of the better all around.
Of everything I've
of
seen
everything,
so far.
yeah.
He had such an ease. He rapped, he sang. He reminded me of the tall guy who kind of rapped and sang. I can't remember, did everything, dance, rap, sing. Mm-hmm. But then he also inflected, like that Jay went famous for, is doing the growly part. But while he's kicking his Timberland boot out, whatever, had this real interesting...
Yeah.
He showed a little... And then he hyped the crowd up for a moment. He did a complete improv where he came to the front of the stage. So the saddest part is I know the judges were probably on their feet clapping and having a good time. That kid right there was doing an idol performance like he's in a concert. That how do they choose not to show something so good, and then they spent 20 minutes on people that they're going to give a 0 to? I know that
right.
It's just inexplicable their editing sometimes. I don't think there's evil editing like people say as much as inexplicable.
Yeah.
Why are you not showing the ones who are obviously really, really good? Except, and I said this not to sound conspiratorial, that it is in that they don't want somebody overshadowing their favorites they want in the group. Yeah. And I'm not saying that their favorites are no good. Everybody's good that I think Mnet is going for, but that guy was fantastic.
Yeah, he was great.
Maybe he's not popular. I don't know. Ryan, sorry.
Ryan the Lion.
He calls himself the Lion. I thought he did good.
Ryan's performance was really good. Was it the most amazing? No, but I think he ended up getting, was it 2-star or something? But I thought he did well and looked really lively and fun. And I just wish we could have seen, like...
They did nothing else.
Before and after, like, his introductions, if he had any banter with the judges. Like, I just wanted to see more from Ryan because he just seems so fun. And I just know that he's fun. Like, we saw a little bit of Ryan... when they went to the dorms, they all, oh
my God.
This full Stanford prison experiment is in effect where the all-stars get into 2-person rooms, the 2-stars get into 4-person rooms, the 1 and below stars get into 6-person rooms and can only take a small cardboard box worth of their belongings.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous, but the first thing about it that was awesome is that, like, almost immediately Ryan was like, grabbed someone with him, I forget, and said, let's go look at the All-Stars dorm, and went to the All-Stars dorm and raided their snack room and was hanging out with the All-Star members and, like, playing around. I thought that was really sweet.
I think the honest truth is they refill the snacks. They don't care who comes in there. But they were trying to make, some kind of Stanford prison experiment going on. Different colored shirts, separated by groups. It's just like, okay, and that. We don't need to do all this stuff. Plus, they just didn't have enough room for everybody to have 2 beds. That's the honest truth.
That's the honest truth, yeah.
Another point, though, is 15 to 22, 20, I think somebody's 25, 27, something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody was born in 2000, so 25. 15 years old to 25 years old, you're not going to have a problem just hanging out with a bunch of dudes. Just even 6 in a room, they're just having a good time. I don't think
the smell of that room. I do not want to know. You can smell
like
6 teenage boys. The smell.
And they're laughing about it. It's like, oh, dude. So if you're like one of you don't want, you're not into smells, you probably have a bad time. But Ryan was fun. Why they gave him the time then, and then gave him literally no time in the
episode? Yeah.
I mean, I understand there's 14,000 young men in this.
Too many contestants. Too many. It's like it was clearly a huge flaw. The change of plan and the change of direction to take this and only make one group, because there's just too many people and they're just having to like cut their airtime, cut them out, eliminate them before we've had the chance to vote. Just absolutely brutal decimation of both of these teams.
Yes.
It's crazy.
There is the argument made real quick that they are I think that's keeping some people in reserve. If you show them with screen time, sure they could get votes, but then they could also lose votes. If people
Not really.
If people think somebody's a shoo-in, like the guy who's number one right now, I think I'm not going to vote for that guy. I know he's a shoo-in. Maybe that's not true or not, but I'm just saying that. So maybe they keep him in a bit in reserve and want to put, like this spot guy, I forget his name, was fantastic. Maybe they pull him out later, or he just rises to the top just through sheer power. I don't know. But.
And just a brief mention, because they've given a lot of screen time to Masato, who is the pink-haired boy here that did the Baggy Jeans song. Like, his skill level was, like, fine. It was, like, middle. He didn't really stand out.
Popular, right?
But they're giving him, like, he's getting voted for. They're giving him a lot of screen time, and he just visually stands out a lot because it's a very smart thing to do before you go to, like, have a distinct hair color.
Yeah. That was Bora's color after they came back to it.
Because then people will remember you. You're the one with the pink hair, So he did well. And then I wanted to briefly mention in the bottom right here, his name is, like, evading me right now. I apologize. They did the song Artist. He's one of the Wake One trainees, and he's getting popular right now. He's voted into the top 8, spoiler, for the later in our podcast. But someone in the comments tell me if he was on Boys Planet 1, because I know him from somewhere and I don't know what. Right. And he's being voted for despite not being shown. So I'm unclear where that popularity is coming from, but I think it was Boys Planet 1.
He was Korean?
Yeah.
Okay. With Yumeki, what was his name?
Masato.
Masato, I think he's possibly getting Japanese votes.
Maybe. Yeah.
Also, maybe they're pushing him because cynically, I say out of 8 people, they're like, we have to have at least one Japanese, because you go to Japan and promote a lot.
I don't know that they feel that way.
I'm talking about Mnet. I'm not talking about the voters.
Mnet, I don't know that Mnet feels that way.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't have a Japanese member in Zero Base 1.
They don't?
No. The one I wanted got voted out.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so those were a lot of those performances. Then, again, we briefly mentioned the rest of the episode was spent on the Signal song, putting into groups, going to the dorms, being retested, etc., etc. For the most part, a lot of that one, I didn't really enjoy the Signal song very much.
No, I don't like the Signal song.
The reevaluations and stuff is fine, but it doesn't really matter. And also, they're showing like a handful of people out of all of them.
Yeah. And also, didn't they only send like 3 people home? No. Like 7 people home?
17 went home. And they gave 3 of them no stars, but they didn't. The whole star thing and the going home in this episode was really confusing. Like, it wasn't like if the judges gave you no stars, you immediately went home. The ones they gave no stars still stayed and got to do their fan cams and got votes before the show aired.
Yeah, it's strange.
And so based off of the stuff that happened before the show aired, they took a chunk of the trainees that got eliminated, and like a chunk of 17 of them, including Ryan.
Could it be because there was some confusion with the 2 groups or something? Was there maybe...
I literally don't know.
Yeah.
But too much of this series thus far, we're going to get into regular challenges and voting,
It'll smooth
I think,
out.
from the next episode forward.
Yeah.
But this front part of it has been really confusing. And I didn't participate in the pre-show stuff. No. I didn't watch their gosh dang freaking 160 fan cams to vote ahead of time to make sure that, like, my favorites make it past episode 2. Like, it's pretty aggravating. Like, I'm okay with the judges eliminating people based on skill. I'm actually on board with that 100%.
More of that kind of thing.
Having people eliminated based off of fan votes that happened before the show aired is aggravating me. Because I didn't watch that stuff. And also, it's a single fan cam.
Well, then,
how do you really know if you want to vote for them?
How is that a fair system? I know it can't be completely fair, but how is that a fair system when you, for example, Ryan, you don't show an entire chunk of, or the guy who did this amazing spot cover, whatever that was, didn't show him at all on the show? Like, I know that you're talking about pre-show stuff, but I'm saying that if you have this many kids and you're going to keep them on, and you don't show everybody in the actual broadcast, it's only leaving really people like us or people who are even more into it than us who go and obsessively watch, not obsessively, but watch every single.
Yeah.
It's just not a fair system, but at the same time,
it's never going to be fair, and I don't expect it to be, and I'm not complaining about that because that's silly to complain about. There's no world in which anything is fair. I'm complaining about how messy it is.
Yes, it's confusing.
It's just messy.
But I said this, I said this during Girls Planet and Boys Planet, I believe. Your job as a star creator. Star creator, which is so strange. You're a god? Like you're a god. You can create stars. Or maybe you're a physicist, I don't know. Your job is to pick out your, not 8 favorites, pick out 3 or 4.
Right. 8's a lot.
3 or 4, whatever it is. And just go ride and die with those people. Vote for them every time until they're gone if they do go away. The other 4, throw a little variety in there. I always say this. Let's mix it up a little bit. It'll be fun. You might find, like the Spot guy. I didn't really think about him before we watched that today. And I thought, that kid's incredible. So your job is to just laser in on your favorite
and support them.
Try and pick a kind of little indie kid, somebody who's not going to...
We'll get into a little bit of voting philosophy when we talk about top 8. But there's just a couple of more points I wanted to make about the training and that signal song. One, on screen you see the adorable emotional support dog.
they actually kind of put it up that way, didn't they? They said it was kind of there.
Which I loved.
I think it's genius.
Though the emotional support dog got about equal screen time to Ryan and more screen time than Qingyu, my favorite dancer in the entire freaking show. Emotional support dog got more screen time than him. On the signal song, 2 things. Number 1, the center. It's always a big thing about who gets voted as the center and da-da-da-da-da-da. The center was, I believe his name is Woo Jin. He was the denim on denim person who did the song Sweat. Remember? Denim on denim. He's had, like, in this past week, had bullying allegations come out about him bullying trainees in his former company. Like, Mnet said they're looking into it, and my opinion on it is just like until they figure out the facts, whatever. To cover but he did apologize and also said that it was like blown out of proportion, which kind of sounds bad.
The worst way to apologize. Here's the thing: there's really the 2 controversies. There's this guy, the center guy, who I thought was really good, but do what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Anyway. The allegations came out that he did this bullying thing, but the only fact we know for sure is that he admitted it happened and said, I'm sorry, but some of the stuff that was said was exaggerated. That is the worst way to do an apology, because then people say exactly what I thought immediately, like everybody thinks is, all right, well, tell us which part was exaggerated, but you can't do that when you've done something bad, because then you've got to admit to the bad thing, even if it was a minor crime, quote unquote.
Right.
I think that when you're younger, you do stupid stuff. You can even do stuff like bullying. Of course, physically bullying and stuff is different, but, or you could be rough on people and when you're put in a high-tension situation like being an idol trainee or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'd have to hear the details of it, which I think they will never, ever let out, probably, because it'll be a court case or something, a lawsuit or something.
Yeah.
I think if he's apologized and he said, I've learned from it, again, as long as it's not like he wasn't beat people up and stuff.
I don't want to speculate because I don't think it was made clear what the specific action was. Like, there's a difference between saying mean words to someone, which is not a good thing to do, and physically assaulting them, which is not appropriate, which is crossing the line. So I don't really know.
Yes, but according to what they said is one of the kids he allegedly bullied had to have counseling and stuff for it. And I'm like, there needs to be counseling for everybody anyway. But so I don't know. I can only say this. When he came out, I thought he was good, and
he was
we'll see what
picked
happens.
ahead of time as the center, so he was like the main point of attention. And then, I feel like they had to do a last minute scramble at it because he was not in the episode. He was not in this episode at all, despite being voted as the center. So I think they've probably written him off. So. Say la vie, whatever.
Somebody said on the subreddit in the comments of my post or on the YouTube, I can't remember, but in Korea, bullying is
it's a very big deal.
Which is kind of ironic because of some of the work culture stuff and all that. Anyway, they do not. Fans supposedly don't tolerate it. I don't know.
Not
I'm
at all.
There and I don't.
It's a zero tolerance thing.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
But if you're younger and it's not, and if people can learn and grow. The problem with somebody who does something bad is that there's literally hundreds of people behind him that are good looking.
Correct.
They can sing and dance. Unfortunately, you can easily be replaced.
Yeah.
And that's how life works.
That's true.
That's kind of like
It's
capitalism or whatever you call it.
It's the harsh reality.
But all he can do is, if he
yeah.
really means it, learn from it. Say, what his lawyers let him say, whatever, and move on. Talking about now real quickly, Leo. When he first came on the show, we both were blown away by his voice.
Yes.
He had a kind of a swagger. He looked like an idol that he's in an idol group. Well, he's a solo artist, right, on a smaller label.
Yes.
And listening to his music, he's really
so good, you guys.
Here's the difference.
His solo album is incredible. Listen to Leo's solo album. It's incredible.
Yes.
This last week, I'm like fully a stan now. I'm fully a stan.
Go listen to Leo, and that to me is where K-pop needs to start going into that direction.
Yes.
A bit more laid back pop.
Yeah.
Look what happened when New Jeans came out and completely wrecked the scene. Everybody wanted to sound like New Jeans. It just had a laid back, fun, but kind of like beach vibe. I don't know, like high school beach vibes.
Yeah.
It was really a good sound. And of course, they've had their own rough goings recently. But anyway, so Leo established great vocal, blah, blah. Accusations that when he was 19, he wrote some lyrics that made it sound like derogatory towards women, or like almost, some people could have interpreted it as almost like an assault type thing, whatever. When you see the content,
just the lyrics were inappropriate.
Yeah, and I hate talking about this, but people are going to talk about it in our comments and stuff anyway, so you might as well get it out of the way. His apology, I think, was appropriate.
Yes.
He used the word embarrassed, I think, twice.
Yes.
That word doesn't come out when you're trying to avoid saying you did something. He's admitting to doing something. And the really funny thing is that here in the U.S., the lyrics you see in songs from top 40
are 10,000 times worse.
Not only filthy, but literally talking about
abuse and stuff. Really horrible.
You have artists who have literally been not only accused,
I wish there was like some middle ground. It's like being just a music fan in general, which we are. We love all different types of music, but also K-pop. There's like in K-pop, it's like a zero tolerance for even like mentioning an inappropriate word. And I love to see consequences for bad behavior. That's not something that happens in the United States. But then here it's like there's never a consequence, even if you actually did a physical horrible thing, like whatever. So it's like there's like no middle ground. So it's kind of crazy.
Like some people to be thrown in jail.
But we're way off the deep end right now.
But I'm just saying that it's bad anywhere in the world, whether it's acceptable or not, to be talking in a kind of like a way that's derogatory or whatever. We understand that, but there is a stylistic thing. If you read the rest of the song, he was, from what I understand, doing like kind of a cover version of the song and added his own lyrics. He didn't do the song with Cardi B.
And
if you listen to a lot of modern hip hop or a lot of modern pop, it does have some very, very rough, let's say, lyrics.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of them, they're just doing the style. When I was a kid, I listened to, and to this day, I love death metal, heavy metal, really heavy stuff, and the lyrics and some of that stuff are insane.
Yeah.
Total violent, over the top.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed bloody movies. It doesn't necessarily mean, if I made a bloody movie, that I want to go out and kill people.
Right.
So I'm not making excuses.
Correct. No.
And I would never make an excuse for or try to downplay a young person, especially a woman, who felt that the lyrics kind of were triggering a bit, like we're a bit.
Right.
Because it is a dangerous world out there.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Having said all that, I think his apology was appropriate.
Yes.
I think he did learn, hopefully, from the situation.
Yeah.
And because the guy is too cool for school. I mean, he is
really
a good...
I stan.
I think
I'm not kidding. I stan. His album is in my playlist. It's so good. So, like, I am on the train for Leo. Like,
yes,
regardless. And I actually misunderstood the Trainee controversy to be about Sangwon, not Leo, originally. So I had mixed it up in my head. But now it's all cleared up, and I like both of them now. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm just saying, stuff like this does come out. I did stuff in my past, I was never intentionally cruel to anybody. I never wanted to hurt anybody. But you're partying, you're being dumb. Everybody's done stupid stuff, usually to ourselves.
Yeah.
It's so hard these days because everything is recorded and amplified in 2 seconds. So I'm not making an excuse at all. I'm just saying that this stuff does happen, and you need to be a little bit understanding occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody out there knows what I'm saying. I'm not making an excuse either way. Having said that, I don't know how many graduated, or I keep saying graduated, how many people who are already in groups make it into the final group. A lot of people don't necessarily vote for. We didn't make it, remember? Yumeki might not be. I don't know, because the voter feels they already have something going for them, and Lee's obviously got something going for him.
Yeah.
After this show, I think he's going to pick up a lot of fans. So even if I think he doesn't make it in the group,
don't say that into the universe.
I'm just saying that if he doesn't, which he will.
Don't say that into the universe.
I think he's got a fantastic thing. He's got a modern, cool
Don't
sound.
say that into the universe. Okay, there's one more thing I want to talk about the Signal song before you fell off the absolute cliff of the deep end in this discussion.
Sorry.
Is that, they spent like 3 seconds talking about the center. They spent 0 seconds talking about the 3 dance centers that were chosen for the Signal song dance break. They come away from the group separately. If you watch the video of the performance of the Signal song, the 3 members come away from the group, do the dance break by themselves. They like take off their jackets and dance in water. I remember when I first saw that, I was like, oh, cool. I can't wait to, because I didn't know who it was at the time. It's in the actual full-length performance of the Signal song.
That's why they cover that up.
They did not show it in the show at all. Anyway, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to get to know them. When I first saw it, I was like, that's cool. I can't tell who that is yet because it was before the show and all that. The dance center in the middle.
Your boy?
Ching Yu,
He's great.
who got 0.00 seconds of screen time. He's in the center above Yumeki on his right.
Oh, that's the dance leaders. Yeah,
and to his left, the kid that was in the trainee that today danced with Kaney.
Wow.
The 3 of them, the 3 dance centers.
And
and they gave him 0 seconds of screen time.
That's also kind of
why?
I don't know, but that's also kind of amazing because now that I'm seeing these 3, I'm thinking of like the other 10 who are really good dancers.
They are incredible. The 3 of them, incredible.
Yeah.
And the thing that's also cute about it is that, like, again, they gave him no freaking screen time despite my really adoring him, is that he was a fan of Yumeki and was glad to meet him. They're friends now. Like, they got to work together on this. They were seen in some of the other videos together. I think they're in their first group performance together. And so he's, like, getting to hang out and they're, like, buddy-buddy with someone he looks up to.
Are they going to do that not in this next episode? You think they're going to meet when the
I think so.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be cute. Yeah.
No, they're together now.
No, I mean to see their first kind of. We haven't seen them meeting
opponents.
Each other. We haven't seen them actually physically meet.
No, he's in K group. You're completely.
I'm sorry.
You were thinking of someone else.
But they haven't. What I'm point being is they haven't shown them meeting, like and saying.
No, they haven't.
Right. But
it happened clearly because they're here together as the
I'm
centers.
The other kid who left his group and went to the other one. Yeah. Again, maybe they're reserving him. I don't know because there's like 10 or 12 really good dancers. So like I said, seeing these 3, that made me realize how many other good dancers there were. Because I was like, wait, that one kid.
But I really do think that they're like top of the cream of the crop.
I do too. I'm just saying that kid who did the spot song.
And that my instincts were correct in that my favorite dancer is Ching Yu.
My hope. Where's his tie?
I don't know. There's no good screenshot, so I had to take a horrible screenshot, but then you see it here. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to point out that
Lita,
I was frustrated
by. You're not even paying attention.
What?
They didn't show those 3 amazing dances, dancing in water like that gorilla in the pool, the flash dance, because they had to show us the dog.
That's true.
And to be fair, the dog was cute, couldn't dance at all, but had a backpack.
Right. Because they had to spend 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 minutes on show.
Showing Ryan eating their food.
No, on show.
Yeah.
Arguing with his team about how to do dance. Like, I'm going to pull my hair out. But okay, anyway, let's get away from the Signal song.
It's not evil editing to me as much. It's confusing. Like, why did you decide?
They just wanted a storyline. But anyway.
Okay, that's fine.
So here we have, the updated current top 8. We have Songwon and Leo in rank 1 and 2. My boy Leo, he's going up. He was ranked 5 before. He's ranked 2 now. Yes, yes, yes. And then Kong Min in rank 3.
Did he stayed at 1? Was he 1 before?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he's good.
Liu, who's the introvert, the shy introvert kid. We didn't talk about him. He's just so scared.
Oh, he's singing.
He's just so scared of everything.
You know what? I think he's coming out of his shell.
He's sweet and he's very cute, but he's just so scared.
He was one who wouldn't sing loud enough.
Yes.
What is going on? He'll get there.
We have Kong Woojin, who was the guitar playing busker. He's gaining popularity.
Wow, okay, good.
Sanghyun is the one in the red jacket that I said we've not seen him. I don't know why he was in the performance today in the red jacket. I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I think he's from Boys Planet 1. Please remind me in the comments. Because he feels familiar, but I don't know where his popularity is coming from, because they've given him 0 screen time, if I'm not mistaken. And then Masato, Pink Hair Adorable, and then Junso from Whibe.
I can't keep everybody straight yet. Who's the model guy on the poster?
Liu.
Okay, that's right.
Liu.
These photos they put out are horrible. I wish they put ones from like dance.
So for mine right now, if I have to pick a top 8 out of only K group, as I've said, Kinyu, number 1. Leo, number 2. Sangwon, number 3. Hyunjin, who we saw today, the dancer who danced with Trainee, number 4.
He's fantastic, man.
Rinsho, who I forgot to put in my top 8 last time, despite really liking him in the initial performance, and he has gotten 0 screen time.
He was the bodybuilder one. He was like, I hate lifting weights.
They're like, you're buff. Do you like working out? And he's like, no, I hate it. And I'm like, you know what? Mad respect. Masato, I'm on board with the cutie. So-won, because again, I just need to see more of So-won. And then I put in Kongmin. I might have changed him with Junso, but I don't really truly have 8 K group favorites. I have I think I have 4 right now.
Dies?
I have 3. I have 2 ride or dies. My top 1 and 2. 4 that I really care for a lot, and then the rest are just kind of filling in space.
Man, I tell you that.
But that's kind of where I'm at.
Good. The Spot kid who sang this featuring Jenny's song, I forget his name.
I didn't put him in my list. I forgot. Here, though, right? No, he's not. He's not over there.
He wasn't in the show.
No,
but he's definitely one of my faves. We didn't even talk about real quick the 15-year-old with their cute round face.
Yeah, I didn't mention it.
So Lollipop Kid comes out with his friend, and they were both good.
Yes.
When the round face, I'm sorry guys,
I forget his name.
Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Comes out.
The 2010.
I thought his friend was a little bit better, a little tighter, a little bit, just seemed a little bit more skilled or whatever. But the cuter one was funnier.
Yeah.
And had an endearing thing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, so he's gonna be a cutie for a while. Then they'll get him out in a couple rounds, because they always do that with somebody. It's you don't know. And he was inexperienced, we thought, but he did well in the rap song. But it still felt kind of roughish. I think he got 2 stars or whatever, which is fine. And then he does his signal song, and he comes in and he says, I have a vocal node, which, I don't know what that means.
Nodule.
Nodule, does the doctor look at it?
Yeah.
Say you have a sore throat, I guess.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right. I'm not saying he would do this, but I was like, maybe he's making an excuse because he feels nervous about it. And then he just rips. He, destroys. And not only that, he does a cute little thing, he kind of has a catchphrase or whatever. I'm like, what? And he's like, so this is like the little boy genius, I guess.
Yeah.
Really, really fun.
He was great.
And then he went, but he was genuinely excited when he got to 3 stars. He's just having a good time. But if he keeps doing that
great.
And this is funny because I actually enjoyed this signal song judgment this time around, just when they're actually having him go up and do it. Although they're editing and side stuff, it's like, get to it, there's a million people. I actually really enjoyed it because I thought there was some really interesting takes on it. That 15-year-old ripped it, and yet there were debuted idols, and people, or at least people way more experienced. Not only that, but larger bodies, more muscles, whatever, who didn't do as well. And I'm like, that's why. And again, I know everybody's different stuff, and different songs are harder and easier, but that's why the judges get pissed when somebody up there with more skill and stuff doesn't do as well. As now, granted, this 15-year-old is like a wonder kid. Maybe he was born with it. I don't know. But you know what I mean? What's your excuse when this kid gets up there and just destroys and has a good time? Yeah. So that to me, I don't know if he's in my top 8. No. Because he's a little too young.
He's too young.
But
I like him a ton.
Give him another year.
I can't wait for him to continue on the performances.
It was so fun.
He was delightful.
Some of them got up there and had a good time, and that was nice to see. Some of them got up there and froze like a deer in the headlights, and that was sad to see. But so I agree with your top 8. Interesting on the voted top 8, the real top 8 that's going to matter. How many vocalists do we have? Lee, actually good vocalists. Masato, I'm not sure. Masato was kind of.
If this was our group, our main vocalist is Leo.
Which is interesting. That his tone is so interesting. So, we got.
I don't think this is going to be the top 8 in the end.
No, I don't think so either.
But. That's it for this episode, for episode 3 so far. Yeah, we went through all my feelings.
Well,
I'm ready. I'm ready for the group performances. The next time, not episode 4, but episode 5 is when the two groups will meet and finally start just doing their performances, which is what I want. Because all the signal song mess and this pre-show voting was just a disaster.
Yeah, I'm waiting. My favorite stuff is creating groups for song competitions, picking a leader and all that.
Correct.
Stuff, and the funny day. They're like, you go outside and run 3-legged races day. You know, that silly stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they get relaxed and have a day off. And stuff.
So, I've heard some. I'm bracing myself. I'm buckling my seatbelt for episode 4.
Oh, we haven't watched
for C Group. It's going to be a rough one. We'll be back shortly.
Yeah.
With our episode 4 recap. Pray for us.
And the rest of the season and episode will probably not have this weird release schedule, correct? So they'll probably be
I hope so.
Yeah, because 2 podcasts a week is a bit much.
It's a lot.
We got jobs.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Please make sure if you liked the video, if you made it this far, please give it a thumbs up.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1,000. And we really appreciate everyone for listening. And thank you to our commenters for encouraging me to listen to Lee Leo's solo music. And I fully stand.
Oh, and thank you.
Now I fully stand.
And thank you to the commenters who correct me when I'm wrong, if I'm wrong about something.
Oh, have a field day on him.
Yeah, I'll take
in the comment section. Okay. We'll see you next time. Bye.